We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how you should start marketing for the sale of your property the day you open escrow. How did this come up?
This is great. Oh, I have a lot to say.
I know how this came up.
Yeah.
You want me to describe it or should you?
Uh-oh. This can't be good. The way you just said it, it sounds like somebody's going to get in trouble.
Jill and I are in the process of massively expanding our staff.
This is how it's supposed to go.
Doubling our staff.
Not how it always goes. So let me just back up with that. So go ahead. Thank you.
Doubling, and then eventually, probably the next 30 days, tripling our acquisition and sales staff for our land product. It's not the only business that we have, but it is the most profitable and requires the least amount of cash. So it's the one we love the most. Obviously, that's the one we have a show about.
Exactly.
And so, like always, there's a ramp-up period and training period. And so we're noticing that we're not sending a clear message about what this whole episode is, which is, you can't start marketing too early.
Right.
And you always have to change how you're approaching marketing and making it better. So that's really what this show is all about. Some people, when people join us in our group as members, and a lot of times employees, they've learned a lot of stuff about real estate. However they got to us, there's all this stuff that they've learned in real estate, and a lot of it we have to undo. And so in the world of real estate out there, there's this concept of buy it as cheap as you can, and I mean as cheap as you can, and close the deal, get it all ready for marketing, get it out there for as much as you possibly can, the price as high as you can, and then wait. And that's what we've all learned through our parents selling their house and the real estate agents that we know. This is the universal, largely because no one has taught them anything else.
That's beautiful. And you're right.
And so all that's wrong what I said.
I know, that's the whole thing.
If you're listening to this show, just wait, we will get to the right way. That might have worked in 1979. I'm sure it did.
But yeah, I have something funny to say about that. So what this is like people right now, I think they're so focused on getting the property and buying the property, having it, and then and they go, okay, today's Tuesday, now I own it. Now what do I do? Like, okay, wait a minute.
That's a perfect way to say what I said.
But wait, I got to take it a step further. It's just like when you're pregnant. Let me tell you. Well, if you have a kid.
This is great.
This is hilarious. If you've ever been pregnant or your partner has been pregnant, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What do we all do with kid number one? We get all the what to expect when you're expecting books. We read up on all the pregnancy. We know what's coming next month. We know how our body's changing.
We build a crib.
We're learning all that. And then what we forget to do is look ahead. And then what happens is you're in the hospital and you go, oh, the baby's here now. What do I do? I didn't study how to change a diaper. I didn't study this. I didn't study that. I didn't do that. I did because I did this. I
did this too.
Everything up to, I was a pro on pregnancy. I had that down. And then the day the baby comes, I'm like, oh, shoot, now what do? I didn't plan for this. I wasn't thinking ahead, for oh yeah, I guess I need to stock up on that. I guess I need to stock up on this, right?
No, I did. Jill and I met later in life. I'm sure you all know. Did
you plan ahead? Because I didn't. Oh, I didn't.
Who are you talking to?
Seriously, I didn't read the books.
I was ready for everything.
I read all the pregnancy books. I didn't read the year 1, year 2, year 3.
Did you build a crib?
So, heck no.
You didn't build a crib?
Well, no, wait, we had a crib, yes. We had a crib, of course. No, it's not like I did that. It's hilarious. Yes, I had that. I had a car seat.
Actually, you know what? I did the opposite.
But I didn't think about the baby.
Maybe it's a gender thing.
I didn't think about the stuff right after.
I thought all about that and nothing about pregnancy. All I read about pregnancy was she might get crazy.
No.
And that's actually true.
All right. Thank you. Move on.
My job was to, do all the stuff you didn't do.
Thank you.
That's why there's 2 people involved.
That's true.
Before we get into the topic, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
So who is this Stephen? Is this really a Stephen?
Yeah, it's not me.
Okay. All right. There's a note. It says Stephen asks. So I thought, I want to make sure. Is that you?
It's not me.
Okay, I'm going to throw one of my own questions in there, actually. That would be kind of funny. Stephen asked.
You should.
Okay. So the title company I've been using in a particular rural county has said that they cannot provide title insurance on a property if I do not do the initial closing with them. I was planning on just getting an affidavit sent to the previous owner after self-closing with them on the first transaction as described on our Thursday meeting so I can provide the title insurance on the higher priced resale. Okay, so let me...
Jill's going to give you background here in a second.
Bogus or common practice for a title company to take that stand? Question mark.
Give him some background,
Okay,
please.
so this is like, let me make sure, and you can tell me if I'm reading this correctly. We've done this too. Sometimes you have to hurry up and get title insurance for whatever reason, or hurry up, and close a transaction for whatever reason.
Well, maybe it's really, really cheap and you don't want the seller to change their mind.
That's one of them. So usually it might be, it's really, really cheap and you want to close it really fast. 1B, like we just had one that's about to go back to the county, you want to close it fast. 1B, one being maybe somebody's leaving the country, or they're sick, or who knows what. They just need the cash that fast.
There's a lot of reasons you need to close a deal in 3 days instead of 3 weeks or
it's end of the year. I've had it. This is an end of the year. If you can close it for me by, December 31, you can have it at this. I got to get it off my books. Things like that come up. So you close it really fast and then you go get title insurance, right? Well, what if like this situation, the person's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy it, own it. Now I'm going to go get title insurance when I sell it and just do it at that time, which can and should be an option. Usually, if it's really fast, I haven't had title companies. You tell me your experience. If I'm doing it within a brief window, then it's not that big of a deal. The seller's still right there. We only did all this a week ago kind of thing. So it's not that hard to go back and get the title insurance and explain to them what's going on. What were you going to add?
This is, it's title companies. If you've ever walked into a title escrow company, visualize this with me. There's a lot of people sitting there in a rural market. Maybe there's not a lot. There's probably 8, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 2 people there. They're usually close to the county seat. Everybody knows everybody in that little town. And so there's a lot of reasons why they're not going to let you do something that you want to do. And so it's not just on this topic, but anything. Dual escrow, anything out of the ordinary. Maybe the fact that you're from a different state just makes them mad. The recorder talked to the treasurer talked to the assessor. Can you believe those people bought that 20-acre property out there for $2,000? They should have bought it for $20,000. We're not closing their deal. That's really what's going on here. So get used to the fact that you're not going to get what you want the first time, every time, from the title company that you want to get it from. That's just, and you're going to have to Jillify
Call
it.
around.
You're going to have to Jillify the thing. You're going to call them around. You're going to make friends with them. And you got to keep them on the phone and get them on the phone and ask them a lot of questions about why.
Right.
And this is what Jill does. Her whole career, Jill will kill them with kindness and talking until she gets what she wants.
Thanks. But to answer your question, Stephen, is there like a law or a rule or something like that it has to be that way? No, it doesn't have to be that way. So if this is the only game in town and you're stuck with this, they're the only ones that would do the deal or whatever it is, I would say, what's it going to take then? Fine. We'll go back and pretend you did the initial thing. The seller's still here. We'll have you sign it. But I'm turning around and I'm reselling it right here. So I want to have I'm going to give you a 2-for-1 here. What can we work out? So I'll spend more money on the front end close, but I want, like a binder or carry open, hold open policy for the back end close. Cause you're doing the same work twice. All you're doing is inserting, you're doing the title work here, inserting my name. That's the only difference. So
what I would say to this title company, before you go to another one and try to restart the whole thing.
Right.
I would speak their language. I would say, look, what's it going to take? I have an affidavit. Do you have an affidavit that we can sign that says that my seller just signed it a week ago? Mm-hmm. Because that's how we usually do it. We did it over here this way. We do it over here this way. The person's really totally willing to sign it. In fact, if we have to go nuts and undo this deal with a quit claim deed and you close it through escrow because the whole thing's done already, I'm okay with that. But let's just work together and get it done. Don't just say no.
Right. Good answer. Good answer.
You got to work these deals.
Yeah.
Now, that's another thing. I don't want to go over on time on this episode, but Jill and I on this show talk about the stuff at 35,000 feet. We give the basic information to basically see if you're interested. Hopefully we entertain you a little bit. This business requires a dedication. It requires a lot of work and a lot of creativity and free thinking. And if you have those things, you're going to retire on this like we have, and we are. So this is a perfect example. You have to make this work. You got to get it done.
I think it's the same.
And it's worth it.
You know what? I think every business owner would say you have to have that attitude.
Yeah.
I don't care what your business is. You need to come at it with what's it going to take to get this done? What do you need from me? You know,
it's not working. You got to change it that day.
That's it.
We could do a whole episode on that.
Totally.
Today's topic: start marketing for the sale of the property the day you open escrow. This is the meat of the show. Okay, hold on before you get started.
Oh.
I love this pregnancy thing.
Oh,
I mean, who in their right mind would take a baby to term, have the baby, hold on a second, let me finish this. Take a baby all the way to term, and then start thinking about what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about you. I mean, you don't bring the baby home and say, where's it going to sleep? What's it going to eat?
that's true.
Let's take a look at how you actually feed a baby. You know, you do all that stuff the whole 9 months that it's going on. And hopefully, if you're lucky enough to do it together, you know,
not everybody does that.
well, I know they don't. And not everybody.
I didn't have any of the books.
Not everybody buys and sells real estate either successfully. And not everybody markets it. And I just love your analogy. That's
Okay,
my point.
thank
It's a
you.
total compliment.
Oh, okay.
There's some
thank you.
stuff in life that it's just common sense before you get to that point, you're doing all kinds of stuff before to get there. And so for whatever reason, like I said earlier, right in the opening, buying a piece of real estate as an investor, it's not registering to the whole world that you got to market this thing way before you actually buy it.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a personal thing
Okay,
at all.
good. Thank you. I'm just saying there's people out there that really don't think about it. Come on, they get pregnant thinking it's going to bring them closer together. Not thinking about that means we're talking
Yeah,
we're now
I mean,
for
those
18
people
years
don't-
or more.
Those people don't listen to this show.
Oh, okay.
And our kids couldn't have turned out better. So,
Thank you.
you know, however it happened, it worked.
Thank you. Can we get to the topic now?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So here's where this comes from. Again, as we're ramping up, you know, and I'm explaining this to someone new on our team. I'm thinking we should revisit this for everybody who's listening. When you open escrow, you have equitable title in this property, and there's lots of things that you can do with it. Kind of when you have some people argue whether you have even just a purchase agreement, which I believe to be true. But escrow is like a little further insurance policy, if you will. Are you on the same page with
I
me?
wouldn't use that term. You have equitable title.
Okay, we're leaving it at that.
I think equitable title is exactly the way to describe it. Equitable title means you have an interest in
Correct.
in the real estate now.
Correct.
You're not just a potential buyer. You sign a purchase agreement, you open escrow, you have an equitable title interest, and you can assign that
Thank
to
you.
somebody else. So Jill's right.
Thank you. So what you should be doing is instead of waiting and waiting for to close, I know I'm going to own it on the 10th. I'm gonna on the 10th, and I'm gonna look up and now I'm gonna market it and get my pictures done and everything like that. That's not how it should go. What really should go is you should have a schedule. You know, and I was thinking about like this. I'm gonna explain just the basics, and you can ask me any questions. You know, T-7 should be this. T-6 should be this. T-5 should be this. T-4, and those days are up until closing date. So, and just to give you an example, T-7 would be something like, we need to email a blast to all of our buyers list with this property included on all the property that we own. And because and people love the off-market deal. You can say off-market deal because it really is. They'll love that.
You can say in escrow.
Exactly. And all you really need to tell with your regular buyers list is what we do.
You're nailing this, Jill.
It's
This
basically
is
like
exactly what needs to happen.
It's a spreadsheet which has state, county, APN, sales price. That's really all they need to know. At least for us it is, because our buyers, by the way, we're wholesalers. So our buyers are their investors. They know how to look it up. They know what this is. T-6. All right, now I need to start to create my posting and get the verbiage down, how I'm gonna post it, and start building the outline. T-5, I gotta order or have done and in my possession now actually, all the images. If I'm going to do a drone video, I should have that already done. T-4. Now I'm starting to put it out there. I'm putting it on my website and plastering it on social media. You're getting the point. T-3, 2, 1. And then in a perfect world, how it should go is close day should equal sold day.
I'd kiss you on the lips.
Thank you. You can.
As
Thank
soon
you.
as the camera turns off.
Oh, okay. But that's what this is. And this is what we mean by start marketing, for sale the day you open escrow. You don't have to wait. Don't wait. I don't want you to wait. If you're new, I understand.
If you're brand new, I get it.
It's a lot to do,
If
and
you
you're
haven't
still
hit 10 deals yet, you're still trying to figure this out.
right. You've
Our
got
education
6
has
more that
like-
you're buying,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. But I want you. This is a goal, and I
Yeah,
want you to
that's the
be.
goal.
I want you to be here, and that's what you should be striving for.
Here's the other thing, because I'm on the acquisition side of this, and Jill's generally on the sales side in general.
Right.
We cross lines, especially recently with training and stuff like that, because we both know how to do it ourselves, but we're just better together. But you're buying this property. You made a decision to buy this property because of something like this sentence. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy, insane, incredible transaction. I'm probably going to make 40 grand on this thing. I'm going to close it right now. So in the past, I've been guilty of, now I'm done. I found a great deal. I know it's worth $40,000, or I know I'm going to make X. I probably even have a person in mind, because I've been doing this so long, who's actually going to buy the property. And so you just stop. You say some version of this to yourself. This is such a good deal. It's going to sell itself. So I'm just going to post it on Craigslist, and it's going to be fine. And so you're really selling yourself short. Marketing is everything, and sales is everything in this business, in every business. If you're in a situation right now where you don't need to market anything or sell anything, congratulations, you found a fantastic business or a business plan or business model. It's not going to last. You really have to market and sell every property in a system, in a machine, if not for any other reason, not just to sell that property, for any other reason than this. You need to attract a tremendous amount of buyers for a buyer list for 5 years down the line, or 2 years down the line, or 8 years down the line. And we have like 28,000 people in our email distribution list for a lot of reasons. So it's really easy for us to sell properties really fast. That should be your goal. If you have a great deal, shouldn't be just between you and the guy who buys it. Your whole constituency and everybody involved in your whole world should know about it. And they should say, man, I missed it. Let me know when the next one comes up. I really want to take a look at it. That's
I
what
love
this is
when that
about.
happens.
That's what this is about.
Right.
It's not about selling that actual property. And so the longer you can keep it in play like that, which starts with escrow, the better. It's like real estate agents always keep the listing sign, even after it's sold. They keep it there in front of that property as long as they can.
Right.
It's just like that.
And you're right that our whole business model is not about resetting the market, by the way. About this is the funniest thing.
This is tomorrow's topic.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
About
Well,
how
at least
this is tomorrow. I don't want to cut you off, but
right.
you know what? Talk about tomorrow's topic.
Okay, just real
it's
quick.
about values.
it cracks me up how many people think that this is a good thing to be able to say, I reset the market for price per acre or price per square foot. I
Yeah.
don't want that. I want to reset the market for, I sold it in 5 minutes. I sold it 3 days before it was done. That's what I want. I want to say, I called the title company real quick and took my name off and put the seller's name in and did this kind of thing because he wanted it that bad and that fast. Something like
This is
that.
a perfect. Do you have more?
Well, then I was going to talk about real quick about what I just wrote down. I was going to share what I just wrote down with everybody, because as I'm growing right now, we're building out a new CRM, and I realize I don't have a column right now. I'm going to put one in there for what you just described. We all have a wow moment when we're buying a property, and that needs to be conveyed in the sales. I'm going to add a little comment about when I'm looking at properties or you're looking at properties, our wow moment, why we're buying this property.
Yeah.
It
Maybe
needs
it's
to be,
price.
but
Could be access.
but there's something, or like, look at this. Look how the proximity to XYZ, something like that needs to be celebrated and shared. So that's all I had to say.
Join us next time for an episode called How Real Estate Valuation Kills Companies.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone. in your real estate ambition. Valuation on the acquisition side, correct valuation on the acquisition side, and correct and realistic valuation on the sell side are imperative to succeed as a real estate investor.
True.
You don't want to see something that's not there.
Yep.
And you don't want to maximize. You don't want to sit there and say, this property is worth $50,000. I'm going to offer them $5. They're going to take $25. These are literal numbers that we've experienced, and feel great about that. That's ridiculous. You want to give them a reasonable offer and still make a bunch of money on the sell side and still be under that $50,000.
Right.
That's the whole premise of that. I have
What do you
a
mean
lot
under
to say.
$50,000?
The whole thing about tomorrow is there are the whole industry all the way down from bajillion dollar, billion dollar equity investors in commercial real estate to somebody who's brand new buying a piece of rural vacant land. They all come into that and say this to themselves: I have to buy it as cheap as I possibly can, and I hope I screw somebody over on that side. And then when I sell it, I have to sell it as high as I can. Hope I screw somebody over.
I agree.
You
don't want to roll
That's
like
what I talk
that.
about valuations.
Yeah.
You're going to be
You won't be around long.
exactly.
All right.
You're not a happy person.
You got it. The Land Academy Daily Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. Wherever you're watching, wherever you are listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.